person that has left the training room.
Yeah, they lost somebody. He must have had a crash.
Yep.
Smuckers in chat. No, I am not in charge of the camera. That's the trick today. We are totally
Yeah.
reliant on the EU guys in the Paris office to show us the game. So we're doing our best.
All we can do for those of you watching is basically choose which feed to pipe into you guys and talk about what we're seeing. We can't control anything else, which I might sound differently because I'm actually on the couch this time. I'm just here to watch this and enjoy, just like all of you. And there's no overlays, there's no craziness here. It's just raw.
Yep.
All right, here we go, boys.
Yep, game's dropping again. Now, Zath, you know, it's 6 o'clock in the EU, so it's time for a beer.
Are you challenging me to a beer off or something?
I don't know. I think that might make for a very interesting cast as the day goes on.
By the time you guys get to the best of 5, he went over behind the island, but
yeah, exactly. Be all over the place.
That's funny.
All right, so once again, guys, we are looking live at Isolate's camera. I am not driving the camera, guys. I'm here to talk and provide as much commentary and insight of the match as what's going on as I can. You can see from the team compositions, you know, Sneaky talked about it earlier, TWA going with their all-cruiser build. They do this frequently. This is something they're known for. ZR obviously having done some homework there. Historically, we see them bring 2 destroyers, GRE score and SAT score. Today, only 1.
Yeah, that's very interesting that they're deciding to do that. But they're trying to counter the TWA lineup in some way. Like SeaRaptor said, they did do their homework. They definitely did some VOD review, and it'll be interesting to see what they're able to do with the 2 Yamatos, because that is something that you do not see. At least I haven't in the last couple weeks. I've never seen a team run 2 Yamatos, so this will be, well, I take that back. I think OPG did. But clearly it didn't work out very well for them.
Well, we saw it yesterday. There was a team that ran 2 Yamatos.
I feel like we saw it. Yeah, I feel like we saw it yesterday, and we have not, to my remember, because we have not seen Redifront run a Yamato. But Kashimikaze is did he? Okay, I know Kashimikaze is almost always in a Yamato.
Yeah, that quick clip that I caught of that Des Moines and BCAP getting nailed, that was Redifront.
Okay.
In the Yamato.
Okay, I got you.
Okay. No, pardon me.
No,
but yes.
Hey, there's so many games we're casting. I mean, it's hard to keep it all straight.
I know, it's a lot. We're like 20 or 30 games into the tournament, so they start to blur together after a while. We see ZR here going for an AC split, not even sending any force to B. You know that GRE score in the gearing has to be super frosty. There's 3 radars on the other side. They have, you know, almost 200,000 hit points of radar on the other side. So he has to be very, very careful and not get caught out.
Well, I'd argue that Nagahide and his Minotaur might have radar as well. I don't know for sure if they brought radar. The other day when I was watching TWA's Minotaur go around, I think that he does, so it'll be interesting to see what he's going to do around B.
That's a good point. I hadn't considered that, and it's something that I always point out to people when I play randoms is, hey, don't forget that Minnow on the other team might not be smoke.
Mm-hmm. Interesting, too, to see at the beginning. Very aggressive play by TWA. Their Conqueror opening fire immediately just to get those kind of cheeky first shots in.
Well, they traded some damage with Kashimikaze's Yamato here. I'm really curious to see how they employ this Conqueror. We've seen the Conqueror in the NA bracket a couple of times, but never to huge success, right? Like you see it, APOC, in fact, was the APOC STW match the only one we actually saw it in?
Yes, I think so. No, one other one.
Somebody else might have taken one, but I know that Sneaky, you guys on APOC, you had kind of mixed success with it against STW. It worked for you in one game, but kind of less in the other. So.
Well, the Conqueror, it works okay. Obviously, TWA's Sniping Cat has been running it, as far as I'm aware, exclusively during this tournament, and has done really good in it. But it takes a very, very skilled player, because obviously it does not have the normal battleship repair and heal. Obviously the heal is the mega heal, but the repair, the premium version, is the same cooldown as a regular heal is for a normal battleship. So what that means is that if you do get caught out of position, and you use your repair a little bit too early, you're going to have to wait a longer time. I think it's 40 more seconds for that, which is, it's very game breaking if you hit the R button. Oh, sorry.
Yep. Well,
Now-
and you see here now one of the interesting aspects of TWA's team composition, the Minotaur basically playing radar, playing destroyer and going into Cat B.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna mention, and the fact that he was able to get in there, and he looks like he took a couple of hits, but or at least a shot, but he's still doing okay.
Well, I'm not surprised. And that's the thing, right? Like, if you're a destroyer, you're typically, GRE, SAT, we've seen these guys all tournament, unafraid to get into a gun battle with another destroyer. But if you're a destroyer, you do not want to get in a gun battle with a Minotaur. You're not going to go anywhere near him if you think he's in there.
Sniping
Yep.
Cat got chunked pretty good.
I
He's
see
down
that.
to 53,000 hit points today, but that's okay.
ZR now shoving a tremendous amount of force down the 2 line. Triple Hindenburg backed by Yamato and some planes, a bit of a torpedo strike kind of hovering north of them, waiting to see how this develops. Really hammering the Zhao and Moskva that are south of them.
The thing about running so many Hindenburgs is that Hindenburgs are very flexible. They can take a lot of damage, they can put out a lot of damage, and they've got really good range, and of course they've got torpedoes and anti-air too, so they're the kind of the complete package for all around.
It's really...
Kanos
Go.
is caught a little bit out of position. He did just go undetected right there. He is leading the charge of ZR through A, but he is getting focused now, at least on TWA side. They are calling for focus fire on Mechanos.
Well, I was really surprised. I mean, he went dark for a sec, and then he fired again. I think he's slowed down. He's pulled up to about
Good.
half speed. It looks like they're going to rotate one of the other Hindenburgs in front of him. GRE Scar spotted. Who's that? Is that Moss? No, it's the Minotaur. The Minotaur's in the channel between B and C.
Ooh.
Got him either lit. I wonder if he's radared.
I would
I'm sure he
imagine.
is.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
Because, well, either him or the Moskva, because the Moskva is still in range.
The
to be
Moskva's
able to
well
radar
in
him. He's about
range.
11 kilometers away. And he's taking some pretty big damage. And he has
Well-
to keep running straight away from this Minotaur, because as soon as he gives just a tiny bit of broadside, those short fused rounds are going to eat into his superstructure and hull.
He's still above half HP, which, given that he's probably been radared for the better part of 60 seconds here, is actually fairly impressive. I mean, he's got everybody on this half of the map shooting at him, and he's only taking about half health. I mean, that's not great, but could have been a lot worse.
Mechanos is
Absolutely.
down to a third hit points.
Yeah,
over
I see
it.
that.
He
They've been focusing
absolutely
him
had to
hard.
turn away. Conqueror Shell's going after him. Well, I got to say, early on, I think TWA is winning the hit point.
Yeah.
The hit point trade. Obviously,
question.
some of their ships have taken a decent bit of hits, but the Gearing and the Hindenburg for ZR already are down, and now they're switching their fire to Calfree's Hindenburg, who is in A right now.
Yep, I see that. Mechanics probably having dropped off of their spotting. They're going to reset these
recall-
Hindenburgs in A.
I don't recall seeing Calfree before.
I have not seen him. I wonder if it's a different name for someone we have seen. Seems unusual, though. I don't think they would have done that. He was on their. Was he on their roster? I got to go pull that spreadsheet from Voss up.
Oh, absolutely. I think he's just one of their reserve Hindenburg players, or one of their reserve cruiser players, I should say. Shell's
Okay.
coming in.
That's always one of the challenges, right? When you've got your core group, and then one of them can't make it for whatever reason, you have to sub in somebody, and they haven't really been doing a lot of the competitive games. They're in kind of fresh, and
Yeah.
he's doing fine. But you don't know what to expect out of him. He doesn't know what to expect out of the team, so that makes it difficult.
You know what it is? Calfree is in Indonesia. I got $10 that says for the regular NA tournament bracket, the times were incompatible with him, but now it's because it's in the EU time, he can do it.
Absolutely.
Minotaur is in C, capping. He has half of his ship stuck. His butt is sticking into C due east.
Yep.
And this is the one problem with the Hindenburgs. This is a good teaching point. They're wonderful ships for just dealing raw damage and firepower, but obviously they don't have radar. Obviously they're not going to be running hydro in a comp setting, so it's very difficult for them to... Yep.
Yep.
Oh, just
saw
took a
that
big
too.
hit.
Yep.
From the Montana.
Yep.
Mechanics
That was
takes
about-
nice dodge on those torps, though.
About 21.5 kilometers from that Montana Angel Stone, laying a nice hit into Calfree.
Well, and Minotaur, in a team environment like this, Minotaur can do something that very few other ships can do, and that's if I'm detected, that means that I know you're within my radar range.
Look at this
Yes.
Moskva all the way down in what, J1?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Because that's the thing, right? Like, so they've got the Minotaur, and normally you'd want to punish it, but how do you spot it? You can't really spot it with planes. He'll just chew up the planes. What you need, and guys, I'm going to say it, you need Anumati's midway and the durability of those planes to hang over the Minotaur to keep him spotted, right? Hakuryu planes will not survive.
And that Minotaur has been running a riot in between B and C. And
Sure.
basically doing whatever he wants. And
Sure.
it's like you said, it's not like ZR is really able to do anything about it.
Who's going to go in there after him?
Well, not just that. There's no ships that are in position right now to be able to get any effective fire at him. Both of the battleships, let's see, Redifront is a bit too far away and is not in a position to shoot.
Well,
and the other Yamato doesn't have an angle. So.
They're pushing one of the Yamatos down the line there, who in theory in a little while will have shots down that channel, but by then the Minotaur either won't be there or you won't be able to spot him anyway. So what does it matter?
Oh, Hakuryu just torpedoed one of the Hindenburg's.
Yeah,
mechanics.
finally mechanics goes down. ZR 300 points behind here as we approach the halfway mark of the match. Not looking promising for them. TWA in solid control. None of their ships really under threat. Sniping Cat maybe on a low health, but yeah, I mean, come on, it's a Conqueror.
Front just took an 11k HE salvo from the
saw that.
Conqueror. And remember, kids, that is not unnormal to happen. 10k plus salvos from those almost heat rounds, if you will, are certainly possible.
Yep. And
I
they're
just totally stole your line.
they're 33% repairable, if I recall right. Or is it 50%? I think it's 33, isn't it?
One of those numbers sounds right. I don't know for sure. I'd have to look.
Regardless, I mean, he's not going to get that all back.
No, not at all.
Redifront is pretty good about staying alive. That's one thing that he can do.
Check out this
the
Minotaur
problem is-
fire coming out of the channel. That they can't see him, but he's got shots on him.
Yep.
Oh.
The thing is that we don't need survival right now. We need kill for ZR.
ZR desperately needs a kill.
Hashtag pray for NA.
Sniping Cat just pressed his new ship button, and he went from about 15,000 to what is that,
47
about
and change.
60K? Or 47? Okay.
47 and change.
It's dirty.
Yep.
Yeah, that Minotaur, that Minotaur driver, Nagahide, man, look at the position. The guy's a wizard with this thing.
Well, it doesn't help that ZR is on both extreme flanks of the map. So
Well,
even if
they don't
you
have a
issue,
choice. They've
you
been
can't spot
forced
him.
there.
Calfrey
Oh,
is
Calfrey's
going
going down. Yep, torpedo strike coming in to polish him off. TWA in total control of the map, up 2 ships and over 450 points here with 8.5 minutes to play.
Yeah, this is not looking good for ZR.
No, they did their homework and they knew their destroyers were going to be a liability. I'm wondering, look, ZR played in clan battles, all right, so they've dealt with the old NATO triple Moskva comp before. They have to have an answer to this. They had to have an answer in clan battles. Ooh, one of the TWA Moskva's getting low there now, south of C.
I don't like that these two are just stopped though. They gotta be moving a little.
And it looks
guess
like
they're
they
not
are going to
afraid
get the
of
kill on him.
shots.
If they can get the
Yep.
kill on him, that all that'll leave behind. Well, they're rotating. Okay, so you see TWA is already rotating that Moskva. See the Moskva in G6? He's already coming
There
over
it
to back
is.
up that spot. Because ordinarily with that ordinarily with that Moskva out, that would allow GRE score to cap. There's places from that cap circle he can cap without being shot at.
Front being forced to push forward, and he's gonna get punished hard for this.
ZR 400
he's
points
gonna go down
down.
soon.
Not out, but certainly not looking healthy.
No.
By the time they're able to get into a cap, they're going to lose another ship more than likely. Front should be off the board momentarily, on fire again.
And this is where the amount of hit points that you have with a full cruiser lineup, it's just, yeah, TWA's lost one Moskva. Big deal.
Big deal,
You know,
yeah.
that was
Mhm.
65,000 hit
Front.
points that they had to take away, and it's just like, okay.
Decent
problem.
torpedo strike on Slaughter's Moskva down there on the eye line, but not enough to seal the deal. GRE score now finally into C. trying to cap, throwing torpedoes down the channel at the Minotaur.
It's the
But,
best you could hope for against a ship that's caught out on its own. But of course, he's got defensive fire, so he just hit his I win button.
ZR 500 points down now with about 6 minutes to play. A little more than 6 minutes here. Need a kill. Definitely need caps.
Dolphin Princess very low. Yasin
Yeah.
is trying to cap C, but probably not going to make it.
Yeah.
A couple of ships under threat here from ZR. I'm not sure
Oh.
why Dolphin Princess is continuing to push south.
Read this
You
is
read
down
this?
to 3K.
Yeah, he's going down.
He's gonna go down.
Is he
here shortly.
radared now?
Done.
Nope.
There he is.
Yeah, he just got caught out. The Zhao and the Moskva focus fire.
Oh, read this. I'm sorry, it was a Hindenburg. Yep. Well,
Yeah.
and now we have Zhao Conqueror moving into Cap A on behalf of TWA. That's going to seal this game pretty much. ZR 600 points down, 50 points from victory. TWA should wrap this up momentarily. Tough loss.
If I'm ZR, man, I'm thinking whatever, all the homework we did doesn't matter. Like, what's going on? You know what I mean? Like, what did
Yeah.
we screw up? And I almost wish that they would have kept their standard lineup. It's what they're used to. It's what they're familiar with. And to be quite honest, I think that the lack of that destroyer really hurt them in terms of vision.
Well, it's very clear
And-
that they're gonna have to make an adaptation here of some kind. I don't know what it's gonna be, but we know it has to happen.
I mean, not only did they lose vision, but keep in mind too, they also lost the ability to smoke their other flank.
Well,
So
just wanted to really quickly say something. One thing that I have noticed is Carefree Tongue has had a very hard time in his hack this game. I'd have to say that Mikion has given him a run for his money and then some.
There come the GGs from TWA. It's all but over here. A couple of ticks will end the game.
1 tick remaining.
Yep, as TWA goes up 1-0 here in the third place match. And we're going
Well.
to Islands of Ice, I think? Is that right?
Yes.
Islands
that's
of
right.
Ice.
All I can say is, wow.
Yeah.
TWA looked, well, like TWA. They that was very impressive.
Professional execution right there.
Yep. And again, you know, no disrespect to ZR whatsoever. They're one of the best comp teams that we have on NA, but TWA made them look silly right there. In all honesty, they made them look silly.